Welcome to Faith in the Law. I'm Tim Rowe, and we have a great show for you today. It's packed full of great things for Christians and the law. We're going to be talking about how a Christian should handle a legal problem and how they should approach it from God's point of view. We're even going to be talking about atheists in this show, and being an atheist isn't all what it's cracked up to be. And we've got a great new video we're going to show by Britt Nicole on how the lost get found. A great inspirational video about how you can reach out to people. And of course, when I want to reach out with people, I just put this shirt on first and get a little bling going from behind, and then we'll go from there. But we really appreciate you listening to the show and tuning in to Faith in the Law. I want to welcome you to Faith in the Law, and of course my beautiful co-host Jill Savage, and it's snowing in the studio today. She's got her wonderful Christmas sweater on.
Festive.
How are you doing these days?
Wonderful. Thank you.
Jill and I have known each other for, a couple decades, I think.
Yeah, a couple.
That means we're at least 21 years old, but our first segment is we go to hot legal news, things that are in the news, and a lot of these are on our website, faithinthelaw.com, but we've got to bring the state of Kentucky in here because, Indiana and Kentucky always have a rivalry. But I guess the governor in Kentucky is in a little bit of hot water for two reasons. One, I guess he was trying to put a lot of gambling in the state, so he wasn't liked about that to begin with. But now he's going to put a big evergreen tree on the Capitol lawn where the governor and the government meet in the state of Kentucky, but it's going to be called a holiday tree, not a Christmas tree. And according to the spokesperson for the government, the tree is going to be inclusive for Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, and New Year's. So he's getting a little bit of flack for that, the governor of Kentucky, where it looks like a lot of people in the Christian churches are upset because he's pushing gambling as a way to make more money for the state, and then he's even taking Christmas out and saying it's a holiday tree.
Not good.
We're going to be talking a lot about this, too, in our shows here about how there is really a legal attack on Christmas. And it is the reason for the season, Jesus Christ. It's when we celebrate his birthday. But so many retailers today do not even want to use the word Christ or Christmas. And in fact, if you get on our website, there is a naughty or nice list on lc.org, and it shows some of the retailers that are refusing to use the word Christmas. And maybe if they profit from Christmas, maybe we should boycott those type of retailers. And some of them are big retailers, too. It'd be surprising to some people. Of course, we got to bring South Carolina into the news. They struck down an I Believe license plate that featured an image of a cross in front of a stained glass window, and they ruled it as unconstitutional. Now, I guess the same state allowed atheists to post a license plate, but they didn't allow Christians to. They thought that this violated, quote, separation of church and state, and we're going to be getting into that in some of our shows and show that the First Amendment really does not use that term, and that's not how the courts have really decided issues. And separation of church and state can be a misnomer because it really doesn't describe how the courts have said that the relationship between the state and the government should be, and religion. But at least in South Carolina, you can't get an I Believe license plate. I think some of it came up through a minister, and maybe that was why.
What if we could get that here in Indiana? Because I Believe is all about the Colts.
Yeah, we would just have to replace Peyton Manning's picture with Jesus or something on there. But
well, still though, I mean that's just wrong.
It is.
I Believe.
Well,
how hard
they have.
Is it? I believe in Jesus.
And they didn't even have Jesus there. They just had like.
I believe it's just sick.
Because, freedom of speech, there are license plates that allow people to express certain things that they support, like education, music, arts. Why can't people say that they support Christianity? I mean, if someone comes out and says, I support Islam on a license plate, that's their freedom of speech. I don't mind that. But it seems like people have just gotten too uptight these days. When you can't even use the word Christ in Christmas, you've really got to sit back. And This show's about Christians standing up for their legal rights, Christians fighting back on this. We've sat down for too long on this. And Christians, what this whole country was founded upon was principles of the Bible and Christianity. And Christians are quite a block that could do a lot of damage to these type of groups that come out and are so negative. And one other quick case, there was actually a professor that sponsored Campus Crusade for Christ on campus, and then when he came up for tenure, they would not allow him to get tenure because he sponsored Campus Crusade for Christ. And the one question they asked him is, are you a committed Christian? And when they said, as long as you're a committed Christian, you're not going to get tenure at this university. And it's amazing that that's going on, but it's going on in this country. And if you get on our website, we have a lot of this hot legal news. But Christians are being discriminated more and more and more. The battle is raging. And we as rights as Christians, we have by the Constitution, and we can stand up for those rights. And we see it in the context of our high schools, our elementary schools, our government, and even now in colleges, that it's difficult to be a committed Christian and get tenure, which means, you get in a position where they can't fire you and you have some security in your job as a college professor. So stand up. Good luck to that individual. The American Center for Law and Justice is coming forward and representing them, so that's a great thing. So that is our hot legal news, and now I'm going to get Jill's assistance, and we're actually going to show why being an atheist isn't all that it's cracked up to be. 5 reasons why being an atheist isn't all that it's cracked up to be. Personally, I think that being an atheist, you got to be a fool, but let's go through these and see. Jill, number 5.
Don't hold back on those feelings. Filling up the empty void of spiritual hunger in your life can be very dramatic and time-consuming, to say the least.
Yeah, you go from trip to movement, and you can't quite fill that spiritual hunger in your life without God. Number 4.
Life is a broken roller coaster.
Yeah, I've been on a few roller coasters, not my favorite rides, but life can be like that without God because you don't know what direction you're going, you don't know when you're going to stop and where you're going to go.
One day you are going to face your Maker and no excuses accepted.
Yep, and even if you look at just the intricacy in creation and just how wonderful it definitely points that there is a God.
Number 2, wishing never takes the place of prayer.
That's true. Prayer is big. We're going to be talking about that in a little bit, but prayer is huge, and wishing never takes the place of prayer.
And finally, number 1, Dumb and Dumber is the movie title that best represents your life.
Yeah, right. As Psalm 14 says, the fool has said in his heart, there is no God. So being an atheist isn't all what it's cracked up to be. Sometimes the colleges and universities make it sound like it's the vogue thing to do, but really it's not at times. And for all you atheists out there, I appreciate you tuning into the show. Maybe we'll have you have a change of heart by the end of the show.
Remember my friend, the agnostic atheist. We have some work to do.
He's going from atheist to agnostic. Maybe we'll get him to Christian here.
Someone has to do it.
We're
working.
But, of course, if you want to contact us, we do have a website up, faithinthelaw.com. You can contact us there. It says Contact Tim right on the site. I mean, this is a tremendous site. You can get on the site and file a complaint for something with the Attorney General's office. If you think there's a consumer fraud going on, you can check all these wonderful websites of people that are fighting for Christian rights. You can email me at trolaw@aol.com or check my law firm's website out. I've been practicing 25 years, rowanhamilton.com. We love to hear from you. This is your show. God's blessed you and God's blessed us. We want to hear from you. If you have a legal problem, don't be afraid to email me. I'll try to help you out. And I do have a book that's out in December. It's called The Magnificent Goodness of God.
Just a few days now.
Yeah.
13
So
more
after
days
5
release.
years of working on it. But it's about the magnificent goodness of God and how it will transform your life. We've got the cover there now, which
Look at that.
who is that good-looking guy on that cover? But it's that's actually taken in the state of Connecticut by Kristen Jensen, great photographer. But it's a tremendous book. If you're interested in it, email me. I'll give you a discount on the book for listening to our show, Faith in the Law.
Viewing.
And it'll be great.
We're not on radio anymore, honey.
So, yeah, I know. I'm always, we did radio for 5 years, so
Yeah.
I'm still kind of in the
Hard habit to
listening
break.
part. But you have to listen a little bit, but you